What's going on? This is Heavy Wrestle TV.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bullyzone podcast. I'm Austin Largo.
Hey guys, it's your boy Lance Winners, baby. How y'all doing on this Sunday?
Before we start anything, some unfortunate news came up in the wrestling world earlier this week. We lost a legend, former WWF World Heavyweight Champion Bruno Sammartino. He really revolutionized how the wrestling industry is today. If only we were able to see him in his prime, be able to be in that New York territory at that time, see him at Madison Square Garden. He basically, built that building, drawing hundreds of crowds. He was a champion over 10 years in total. He held that title. So, a quick moment of silence for the legend Bruno Sammartino. All right, give it up again for Bruno Sammartino. You will be missed.
Give it up to you guys. Thanks for watching, tuning in like always. Today's show is going to be a little fun and interesting. We're going to start things off talking about Amped Up Wrestling, how they had the Impact Johnson Memorial Show. We're going to talk about a couple matches we saw, met a lot of new people, got some good matches, got some good photographs and production right now. So what do you think about the venue, first off, when we showed up?
Yeah, the Lucha Pro arena.
Yes, sir.
It's cool. It's right there and right smack in the middle of L.A. So anyone from all around L.A. County, from all neighboring cities can come down, check out some dope wrestling. I know I was excited to finally step foot in there. Like Sean Black and Rocket Boy was saying, like Rocket Boy was saying, his first show he ever saw was in that building. I believe Mr. Impact used to teach Rocket Boy there, if I'm correct. So it is really a nice way to pay respect to one of our fallen brothers. Going back to his backyard, putting on killer matches for him.
Yeah, the show Friday was amazing. We had a great numbers, a good draw, as they say. So it was good to see people. I see people from Los Angeles that I don't get to see most of the time. It was good to see new faces, that I haven't met yet, get my face out there, introduce Bullyzone to some new people. So it's really cool to get together and not have wrestling leave us, but use those memories as a fire to burn the future passions, you know what I mean? With so many kids were there. That was great because wrestling really is about the kids because the kids are the future. So it's cool to see so many youngins running around, crawling through the ring during intermission. But the matches were pretty explosive, if I do say so myself.
Yeah,
what was your favorite?
Probably our boys, Maga, Voodoo Master, and Fabi versus Heavy Hitters in Define Intervention.
The three-way tag team.
Yeah, we've seen them all at OCCW. A few we haven't seen, but still, hashtag book Favi. Favi's awesome. If you've been following Free Admission, you know who Favi is. But our boy Voodoo Master went out there, did his thing. Tony Reyes, we'll talk more about them, about the OCCW Hard Time show. But that was probably my favorite match of that night. And Define Intervention, they Lord Atu got to reunite with his brothers. So that's give one up for reunions.
Yeah, that was definitely probably my favorite part, is seeing Divine Intervention together as a whole. It was great. But just my favorite part was just seeing all the raw talent. It felt like coming to my first show all over again, you know what I mean? We did know a handful of people, but there were probably two handfuls of people that we didn't know. So it was great. It gave us aspects and motivation to go to these new shows in the upcoming months as Bullyzone branches out. But it was a great show. Awesome donations. Everybody came in. Nothing but love and positivity and Divine Intervention, because you can't, group them all together in the same category.
Yeah, a lot of tag team matches, but what are you gonna expect when you got 40 guys on the card? You all Yeah, you gotta get in their spots, get them in the ring. But you know, ended very nice. You know, Mr. Impact student Rocket Boy, he picked up the win for his team, Sean Black and Human Tornado. You know, and at the end, Rocket Boy gave a very touching speech about his former teacher, protege, or he is the protege, excuse me. You know, a very heartfelt speech about his teacher, Mr. Impact Johnson. So, you know, and you know, Rocket Boy, he reminds me a lot of Chris Bay. You know, the small, athletic, you know, cruiserweight, you know, next big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Mr. Impact, you know, really left a great legacy behind in Rocket Boy. So I can see him moving up, you know. I can see him getting booked on, I like to see him at the Young Guns, if they ever do another Young Guns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how
That'd be fun.
Everfly and Chris Bay got their starts. I like to see Rocket Boy, you know, go there, bring his board over there.
That's the best part. I'm surprised you didn't whack nobody with that at the memorial show, honestly, here. Jump off. But it was pretty good. I loved every part of it, and Rocket Boy is definitely someone, if you guys don't know about, you should check him out.
Shout out to Rocket Boy.
Next big thing, baby. So before we jump into the next show that happened this week, which was, you know, last night.
Hard Times, last night in Los Alamitos.
That's right. So before we get into all that, I want to give a moment to introduce our newest member, the Bullyzone. You know, he's been paying his dues pretty well. You guys might know him. You guys might have seen him already. But he's going to come right here and give us a little 2 cents, tell him about himself and how he fits in the Bullyzone. So without further ado, let us introduce
the original Ross Roy. Come on down. Come on down with your newsy hat.
Newsy hat?
Yeah.
No problem with newsy hats.
Yeah, they were roasting you last night at the show about that.
It's alright, they can roast me.
Yeah, I saw a meme about that hat. It said, early 30s, been to every brewery more than once. Is that the case?
That's going to possibly end up being myself. I don't have much issue with going to lots of nice breweries and having lots of nice craft drinks and wearing nice hats. So
because you can afford it.
Exactly, because I can afford it. So memes, jokes, all fun. I can take the hat off though, you know. Join you guys here with that.
Well, thank you for not pulling a John Malice over
You're
here.
indoors.
Because the last thing you need is to have the same hat.
No, the same
and
black hat.
Yeah, and not take it off inside the studio.
Yeah,
so I appreciate you, boss.
Okay,
how you doing
thank
today?
you. I'm all right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in with us. My name is Ross Roy, the original, and I'm going to be working with Bullyzone, doing a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff, photos, videos, interviews, social media, you name it, I'll do it, and I'll be there alongside these two knuckleheads.
Who you calling knucklehead?
You.
Now I know, knucklehead. You're the intern here. You gotta be paying your
You
dues.
don't even
Last
have your
night,
tie
yeah,
on right now.
I was cleaning up after the mess, you know, everyone's making. I didn't see you cleaning up.
Well, I stuck around. I cleaned up the ring.
No, you're talking to Max Ammo. I know.
No,
you got a
I'm
little man
straight.
crush on him.
I do. I have a man crush on Max Ammo. I will give you that one because the
Oh,
man
man,
is a badass.
And the worst part is he's leaving us soon. So it was great to be at OCCW Hard Times last night with him. See him in one of his last 3 matches, I believe. But
So, you know, Ross, you know, if you want to be a bully, tell us about your wrestling background, you know.
where you grew up, tell us your story,
So my
boss.
personal wrestling background. Well, I have a little bit of a story past, you know, the original, meaning, you know, where did wrestling start? Where did wrestling grow up? Well, for me, to my knowledge, wrestling started way back when out of 5 Points Boroughs, New York. The hand-to-hand combat, grappling, you know, one-on-one fist fights.
Yeah.
Moved into, you know, singlets and big barrel-chested dudes throwing each other around down there. And so my grandmother came over through Ellis Island, did that whole gig, English grandfather, and married an American woman.
Oh, there you go,
Stayed here,
classic.
New York classic. And then my father and mother actually are pretty much the same. So that's my backstory, and that's where the name comes from.
Well, by backstory, I meant like what you grew up watching and all that.
Oh, what I grew up
That-
watching.
you're
like-
giving us a
Wait,
history
wait,
lesson.
wait,
I give you a
but
history lesson. all
Yeah,
right.
I'm the know-it-all. I know everything.
Wait. Well, before we
No.
talk about the wrestling history, I want to know a little more of your personal history.
Okay.
So growing up, did you get beat up?
I
Did
get
you have
beat
to? Did you have to overcome
No,
adversity,
I
or were you a
did-
bully
I
from
did-
birth?
No, bully by trade and decision, because bullies don't get bullied. Bullies make the rules.
What kind of
There you
bullying
go.
you do?
What do you mean? What kind of bullying?
You know, you
Do I
beat
need
kids
to take
up.
you
You
a
take their
back
money.
room and show you? Or,
No, you couldn't take me.
you don't think
With
so?
one arm behind my back, you couldn't take me. I probably outweigh you by 50 pounds, dog.
Pound and weight doesn't mean anything if you don't have the skill.
What skill do you have? Tell us your background.
Wrestling for 4 years.
Okay.
Jiu-jitsu for a year. Water polo, rugby. What else do you want to play? I mean, I did football, but I hated that, so I took a walk. But what wrestling actual stuff am I into?
Yeah, like what, do you have
So,
any wrestling shows
on
you
the
been
nerd,
to?
on the
Yeah.
nerd side,
Yeah.
what really got me into it was the old school, well, not really old school, but Golden Era WF, which I have the pin right here. What are you doing with the phone, boy? The pin right here, Golden Era WF on my hat. You can't see it. But whatever.
WWF.
Yeah, WWF stuff and Attitude Era, and then I grew up playing the video games. That's what really got me invested, was like the immersion of video games as a medium,
Mhm.
and the WCW NWO Revenge game on the N64 and WWF No Mercy are still two carts that I have today in my room upstairs.
In condition, I bet.
In not mint. I don't keep them in boxes. Like, I bought them used and ripped open the boxes, have my name scrawled on the back and stuff. And so that's what got me into it. And then so I know all those guys very, very well. You know, the old school, like, you know, if you're, you know, mid-20s, 30s guy.
Mm-hmm.
So like big names then would have been like The Rock, Triple H, Stone Cold, Mick Foley was still around. The Hardy Brothers, Edge,
Hardy
Gangrel.
Boys.
So you guys ever play these games at home? Thank you guys for tuning in as we live right here, Bullyzone. We're in threefold today.
So who you like? What about wrestling right now? Do you like? You know, let's talk about current product.
Wrestling right now that I really love watching, since I've gotten way back into the fold of actually seeing it, is so I watched some of the Wrestle Kingdom stuff, and then WrestleMania this year. I really, really like Shinsuke Nakamura.
Okay.
Just like he could play any role, good or bad, and knock out any show and sell out. And he has this nice crossover. You know, I grew up with my uncle fighting King of the Cage, Pride fights, and coming up that way.
Who's your uncle, if you don't mind me pausing and getting into
you
that?
can pause again.
Yeah. Let's see.
My uncle's name is Mike Burke, and he was a through and through, I would say, hardcore jobber for King of the Cage, and got over some guys like Tank Abbott back in the day. Him and Tank were friends, and so went through the ringer with him. And then most recently, like a last match that he ever did was against Ken Shamrock at his gym or whatever, a promo for his gym in Africa, I think it was. And he got paid to go out there. He was basically going to get like the crap beat out of him. Goes over, flies over, fights Ken. Ken pulls his hamstring in like 2 minutes.
Oh man.
So, but I love that history of like fighting, and I saw how Pride had a huge crossover in the industry that brought a ton of interest and, more importantly, money to the game. So I think like Shinsuke Nakamura could do that easy. You know, you bring all of these Asian fans that have never seen full-blown American wrestling, and you have a good deal going.
Show them the superstardom that it has over here in the States. Me and Austin go back and forth about that. You know, he's very fond of the New Japan, and I'm more fond of WWE American style. You know, so how do you weigh in on this when it comes to bringing? Do you think Asian fans would love to see American style, or do you think they're like you and more content with the New Japan style?
Well, I like everything. It just depends on what you want to watch. You want to watch some, you know, stiff, strong style. Japan, you know, that's what they're accustomed to. You know, like Shinsuke, you know, he's not doing what he could do if they let him go out there, you know, like 20 minutes at least a night, you know, laying it in. But we all saw that WrestleMania match, him and AJ. They had their Wrestle Kingdom match, Wrestle Kingdom 10, and that was a slobber knocker. Shout out to JR. And then they come over here to the States, and then it's a stink fest. You know, the only good thing about that was, you know, Shinsuke, you know, turned to the bully sign.
Yeah.
So he's kicking, you know, AJ or giving low blows every night, so that's pretty cool.
You don't speak English all of a sudden. We've seen him trying for years now, and I'm going to bully you on that real quick. You've been trying so hard to learn English for the last couple of years, and now you're just going to give up? Come on now. But as I digress. So we got a little bit of information about you. the fans know a little bit more about you. Thank you guys for watching, tuning in.
Yeah,
So, let's dive into last night, shall we? Let's see what's going on.
I'm finally missing phone. I mean,
You don't need your phone right now.
I'm good. All right.
Anyways, last night we had OCCW presenting Hard Times in Los Alamitos, American Legion Post 716. Last time they were there, it was Cage Match 2. So, it was a really, Bullyzone opened up the show with the loser, Rudy Rogers. He was our guest. We have some history with him.
Oh yeah,
Him and Lance go way back.
just a little bit.
And then,
It was okay, so let's backtrack, So Hard Times, American Legion Post 716. We had Hard Times. I showed up in a nice suit, didn't I? I look good.
it's fresh.
I'm gonna fish, right now, because I got a lot of ladies last night telling me I was looking fly in that suit. You guys,
if you're fishing, I'll give you a fish. You look good.
thank you, yes sir. So there I was in the ring next to Rudy Rogers, and for you guys that don't know, about 3 months ago, when I was still a fresh bully in the game, I was giving Rudy an interview, and I was pushing buttons, and he didn't seem to, we got all riled up, and at the end of it, he pretty much ended up putting hands on me, and like since then we've been avoiding it. We haven't talked about it. He did pay a fine, but the main reason I wanted him on the show specifically is because I felt if we're gonna move on together, I need an apology, a public apology from a good guy face, and I was hoping he was gonna retire after that, but you can only get half what you want.
We'll get into that later because he comes back later in the night. We gave him his time to shine, and he kind of dropped the ball there. So you needed to make a bigger impact later on in the night. I'll give him props with that. If you don't make an impact the first time,
Try again.
But first match we had was Auntie Heidi versus Dr. Feelgood. That was my first time seeing Feelgood. I know I think he is up there in MPW a lot.
Yes, sir.
I like his glasses. He got those with the pink and green glasses. Those are pretty cool. I was gonna say that to him backstage, but we just got caught up, getting ready for the show. But my favorite is always gonna be Auntie Heidi in the women's division here in OCCW. What do you guys think of the match?
I thought it was really good. I mean, Philgood super impressed me, man. I major respect for that dude.
Mm-hmm.
And good showmanship, like great selling. Did a really nice job of showing off the caliber of this sport at this level. And then he did the whole thing where his wig came off, and he's like, "Oh,
that was
you
it.
You thought I'm bald now. Welcome to the bald show."
Yeah.
And, it was really good to see a dude just on fire for what he was doing. I mean, I've seen Heidi wrestle, and she's always on it.
Mm-hmm.
A game every single time. And to have somebody match that was huge. It was meaningful, and I think the two had. I mean, they have these like clashing images, right? They're not very similar in their style or
how they play,
or even how they play with others. Yeah, but they got on really well, and I think that's what mattered. Is the crowd got to see that nice chemistry.
Yeah. So like you're saying, Auntie Heidi always brings her A game. She's always on point, and Feelgood, like Austin was saying, they work together in collaboration over at MPW. So when you have two people that are highly skilled, and then you add the fact that they've worked together, it's simple to see why that match was so explosive and why it delivers such crowd service, And I'm just gonna say Heidi picked up the win at the end. Got interviewed by Joey the Bull, and Joey the Bull says, "What do you want next?" And all Heidi can laugh and say is she wants more of a Hilda. So who knows? Maybe we'll see that round.
I love watching that match. So
go another go.
Put that one together every single time, all the time.
Yes.
Heidi and Hilda, round 3, the rubber match.
The rubber match, ladies and gentlemen.
One win apiece. We'll see what happens. But next match on the card, Tony Reyes versus Super Green versus Cristiano Camacho. Triple threat rules. I remember Tony Reyes from the first time we went to OCCW show. When he was still teaming with Jonathan Malice. So he's always kind of a place with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always gonna hold him up to a higher standard. Plus he's the elderman in that match. He's been around, longer than these guys probably been watching
vet.
wrestling. He knows his craft, and he went out there, show these two, super green. He's named that for a reason. He's pretty green. I'm kidding. I don't know him that well.
We saw
He was
him
actually
live.
at the Impact show.
Yeah.
So, I met him that night, and then next night I find out he's booked on the show. So that was pretty cool. But Tony Reyes, picked up that W, and he's gonna keep racking up his W's. So he even picked up W at the Impact show on Friday.
That's true, in that triple threat
with
tag
that
match.
Elbow off the top. So he's got a good little win streak going right now.
I don't think there's much that's going to stop him at this point. You know what I mean? The only thing that's going to stop him is not setting up the match, if you know what I'm talking about. But what's your opinions on it before I get into mine?
That was just a great match. Two younger guys that are going to be hopefully next to the movement for Orange County, LA, and the greater areas. They're going to be all over the place. I had a chance to speak with Super Green and his coach or his dad, whatever, after the show. They're super cool guys, and they take training very seriously, which was nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then Camacho was just, I loved seeing him come out. That was fun to watch. The whole, he had La Bamba playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was really good. It got the crowd going. I loved it. And then if Tony Reyes doesn't roll those two guys, what are we really saying? Like, are we gonna let that happen? No, I don't think so. So just give him the win and beat those guys up as they should have been. Very nice. Very nice.
Anything else you want to add, Lance?
Yeah, I was going to say the match had great chemistry. It gave both greenies a little chance to work with the vet. It gave them a chance to work with it themselves with the vet in the ring, so it's more of a molding lesson, But at the end of the day, that double Samoan drop, like, how you going to get out of that? So yeah, shout out to Tony Reyes. He's a great man. Can't wait to see you at the next show. Like you said, maybe you're going to be the next up for some gold.
Coming for that title.
Come for that title. Didn't you get do you actually?
I have interviews posted with 3 of the wrestlers, including Tony Reyes.
There you go.
Short little uncut ones. Yeah.
So you guys can check that out on Tony Reyes' page. He already shared it. You can see it on the page over here. We got It's Everywhere, baby.
Next up, we had, kind of a grudge match. Freddie Helmuth versus Voodoo Master. If you didn't know, Freddie Helmuth, Freddie Helmuth and Voodoo, they've been talking a lot of smack on social media. You can go check Facebook. They're talking back and forth. So it was only a matter of time before, it came to blows. And Helmuth actually stole the mask off of, Voodoo's face. Right there, broad daylight. And
But like a true luchador, his face was not exposed. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah, and Voodoo came out looking fresh, new gear. I'm liking the kick pads he had. Those were pretty dope with the Voodoo on it. Freddie Helmuth, Divine Intervention. He brings that grit, that grungy attitude to the ring every time. I like that. Voodoo had him well scouted. He came out first, hit a while, went around the ring, went to attack Freddie. Before Freddie gets to jump on him. So Voodoo, he's been watching that tape. Unfortunately, it was a no contest, a draw, whatever you want to call it. But good match. That package pile driver, I thought it was the end of the match right there.
Yeah, that looked deadly. It looked like a retirement move right there.
Yeah, so I hope there's more matches from them. Hopefully we can get decide a true winner. The next time we see them. Probably the next OCW show is going to be in Los Alamitos again. So stay posted. Facebook,
Instagram, Twitter.
yeah.
Come by the dojo if you guys want.
Now, what you guys think of the match?
I thought it was really good. I mean, all the matches I had a really fun time watching. But you mentioned they stole the mask on Voodoo's head, and I was standing there going, what's going on? He walks out and just has it on his head, chilling. It was just like, oh, okay, this is how Freddy's gonna play this. All right, fine, fair. And the dude just has that stick in tow constantly. So I always am just like, okay, how is this match gonna play out? Is that gonna be over somebody's head or somebody's back, and what's going on? Voodoo uses that black magic, like,
Oh, yeah.
man. He's like, I got this in my back pocket. Don't mess with me because it's coming for you. You know, the best weapon is the one you just have to brandish and not actually use.
Yeah.
Which I think is nice. That's how I think of black magic with Voodoo. And then you were talking about his new gear. Man, I am super pumped for his new stuff. I've been talking to him for a little bit, and I told him, man, double down on your image and some new clean stuff. I sent him over some stuff recently, and I was just like, dude, if you put your name on something like this, I would drop a lot of cash.
Real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, just like really. I sent him a post that was just La Parca, and had this like badass black leather jacket with like skeleton stuff all over that goes up and over.
Oh, a
And,
full
you know,
hood.
I think it was like a full leather one.
Yeah.
I even was like, even if it's lighter, I'd drop stacks on it. But the match overall was just high energy, man. High energy. That's what I love about those two guys in particular. Just bring it.
Yeah.
Freddie, you're kind of scared. You're like,
Is this guy really?
Is this okay? Is this gonna pop off? Is he gonna bottle somebody real quick?
Because you never know with that cat.
No, you don't. And that's the best part. Voodoo is just kind of an enigma, I would say. He has this nice mystique going on that I love to watch. And it's like watching somebody strike from the dark. You don't know what's coming. You don't know when it's coming. But when it hits,
You're
you
going
know
to feel it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I liked his, like ever since his last show, he got the new little beads. I like that, you know, make it like a little tribal, even more voodoo-esque. I'm really upset because I saw the kid that took his voodoo doll way back when, and I just didn't react. You know, I had a Spider-Man moment, you know, where I just let the crook walk by with the toy. So he's still working on his image. I like the cane he's got. I like my favorite part about the mask is he doesn't have that jaw anymore. It's just like the front plate. It reminds me of good old Teen Titans when Robin played X for a minute, or Red X. But anyways.
And we also had the run-in from Azrael in the match.
Yeah, I was gonna say
him and Freddie had been having a fallout. So to find an intervention, they were all good Friday, at the Impact show. But the falling apart at OCCW. First they lost Angel, Lord at 2, he's gone, and then now Freddie and Azrael. If you can't fight your brother like that. They gotta get back on track.
Yeah, they gotta learn from.
They need to get Teddy Long in there. Schedule a tag team match for them, and then they should be all gravy from there.
Hey, you never know. Maybe that might be the outcome. I was gonna say they're fighting so much. They need to learn from La Raza, and understand that this fighting isn't what brotherhood's about, So they'll either fall out or they're gonna get stronger from it. Only time will tell.
Next match we had was B.A. Marcus Frey.
B.A. Marcus Frey
taking on Max Ammo, one of his final matches here at OCCW. Two Primrose guys going head to head. And in Primrose, he cut a little promo beforehand talking about, Malice putting his two guys together. Thinking Primrose want to be able to pick a side. You got two of your best guys one-on-one. You'd be happy.
One of them wins, right?
Either way. But, he knows Max Ammo's leaving. So, there's no money behind him anymore. So,
well, there is
put
just
all his chips on B.A. Marcus Frey, with the cheap shot and Max Ammo before the match starts. Cool match. I like Max Ammo. He's just got that cool look. Stronger than Houston 72.
It's all vegan, baby.
Ended in a no contest. A lot of no contests on this card.
Shout out to Voodoo Master. Voodoo Master just logged in. You missed it, boss. We were just talking about you.
Rewind 5 minutes and you'll see.
Yeah, go back a bit.
Yeah, go back like a good 3 minutes. We were just talking about your new swaggy outfit, your swaggy chains. You're killing the scene, man. Come on down whenever you like.
But yeah,
Voodoo Master did get that dubs. Killer sauce.
Well, then that ref was just, dumb because he was like, ring the bell, trying to call it no contest. But I thought Fudo was gonna pick up the win. If they want to review the match now, give him the win.
Well, you guys can review the match. We have Bullyzone live for only $9.95 a month. You can I'm just teasing, guys. We're coming up with our own little marketing schemes right now. Bear with us, but
we could do a mug club and subscription service, all that. Yeah, we would just totally go down. Bullyzone mugs. Would you guys buy that? Would you buy Bullyzone?
Would you guys buy Bullyzone mugs? Let us know.
Would you guys buy Bullyzone merch? That's the real question. We don't need mugs, shirts. That's the real question. Leave a comment down below. Yes and no. It would have our logo with it. If you want a shirt, we need a good amount of people who are going to come buy shirts. And they'll say, yeah, I would buy a shirt.
Yeah.
Are you going to buy a shirt? Come down to the show.
Are you going to buy a shirt?
Have $20 in your hand. Come get this.
Because
merch.
guess what's happening when we get to April 28th at the Delo Jiu-Jitsu Center.
We'll get to that in a bit.
No, I gotta get to it right now.
But, if you're serious about merch, we'll get some merch for you guys. If not, then you're missing out.
So take us into that ending of Marcus Frey and the good old ammo.
Yeah, that was like I was saying. That's no contest too.
They just went wild on each other. And
the ref
had to stop it.
Didn't have any control tonight. He was all over the place.
Yeah, the ref was incapable of controlling what's going on.
What's that guy? Who was the ref, by the way? What's that guy's name?
I think Joey the Bull.
I never remember that.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Who cares?
Freddie Havoc. That's his name. I'll know it all. Trust me, I know.
That's why we didn't ask you. We didn't want to be bothered by learning his name again, but here we are. What's next on the schedule? What happened next on the card, boss?
You guys want to say anything about Max Ammo BA Marcus Frey match?
Sure. Okay, fanboy here. Fanboy moment. Alert. Fanboy moment. Max Ammo is the baddest man of all.
Mm-hmm.
Love that dude. Angriest man alive, and has a lot going for him.
Oh yeah.
And as a wrestler, solid. As a performer, solid. As a guy, solid. And no difference in the ring. And to throw together, Primrose, granted, is a jackass. Let's just put it out there. I don't like the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows how to wrangle some wrestlers together and put together a nice little stable for himself.
And
having those two go to town was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Biggest, probably two of the bigger dudes on the card, if we want to be real. Like, those guys have some muscle on them.
Yeah.
And
when you're talking big like muscles, not big like fatsos, right?
Yeah.
There's divisions in this. I want to make sure we're on the right scale
because
they wouldn't be the top two if we're talking overall.
No, we're talking muscle, and both of those dudes I get hyped for when they come down just because of their attitude.
Mm.
Max has this very raw, uncut, just I'm gonna go ape on you style, and then
Woo,
VA,
woo.
yeah, VA, even the entrance, whoop whoop, that's the sound of the police. You get hype, you get going.
It gets the crowd going.
It's good stuff. That's another match that Hilda and Heidi I'd love to see just over and over and over again. Unfortunately, we're not gonna get that.
Mm-hmm.
But oh well.
But we will be able to catch Max Hamill just a few more times before he has his official retirement.
Fighting his tag team partner at Mother's Day Massacre, May the
12th.
I know we went over that a few times. May the 12th, Mother's Day Massacre. He's going to be fighting his tag team partner at the VFW Post.
Fighting him or fighting with him?
Fighting with him.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that we don't need any more breakups right now.
No, that would be
it's
very
going to give
bad.
us all some heart problems. But yeah, all I'm going to say about that match is like you guys already covered. It's explosive, high impact. I'd love to see them in a no holds barred kind of situation where you don't have to be double disqualified or counted out. They can.
I would want to see no DQ matches. Just go at it.
Yeah, throw them in that kind of pit, or maybe even have a good old parking lot brawl. I think they could both withstand that. I don't know about the cars though.
I mean, the show overall did go a little wilder. We'll get there, but
yeah, things are definitely turning up after this. What happened next in the card, Mr. Know-It-All?
The final match for intermission was for the OCCW Tag Team Championship. It was the Juggernauts, Mikey O'Shea and Sean Black, reuniting here in OCCW versus your current reigning and defending champions, La Raza.
Raza.
And Alexander Vega.
Viva! Sorry.
Yeah, this is probably one of their biggest matchups to date since winning the titles off Team OC. Before that, they fought the likes of Los Felines and Finch Dragon and his partner. You know, they had to go 1-on-1 at Bushido Cup. You know, but that didn't stop them. They looked strong as ever. You know, there was no distension or no, you know, they could trust each other again. You know, they didn't think.
They sent a very strong message to Jonathan Malice. You know, when it comes to nothing's gonna stop us. You know, whether you team us against each other or against what you think are the real juggernauts, turned out to not be the real juggernauts because they lost. You know, Mikey O'Shea, Sean Black, but you know, this just adds to the testament of them. You know, like they say that they're the ish and they really are. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I like that.
That's how I feel about it. I know we went backwards, but you can say what you got on this one.
Oh, yeah, no, order doesn't matter as long as we get it out there, right? Watching Sean Black was really cool. The dude can move. I told him after, I was like, you move like a little guy, and it's really fun to watch. That match overall was just, you know how there's like A tier, B tier, C.
Yeah.
Okay, then there's S tier in like video games and stuff. That was S tier. That was awesome. Especially watching the struggle of Mikey O'Shea just crawling hands and knees like, Jesus, get me to this guy's hand.
Yeah, I need to make this tag quick.
Just trying, and the look on his face was very nice to see. Just.
That's something you don't usually see from Mikey O'Shea.
No,
he's usually dominating.
He's usually dominating, dude. So if you see him in distress, you know it's a real match. And then you had the last second ditch effort by Sean with the last second tag, and he just goes in and lays out both of the members of La Raza, and you're like, oh, okay, so this is how we turn this one around. And then, oh wait, no, sorry, the real boys are throwing down.
Yeah,
and La Raza takes the win. I don't know. I get so hyped over some of these guys that I've seen in passing or seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey O'Shea, I see a lot of him going around. Sean is relatively new to myself, and then La Raza is like the quintessential tag team partnership in my mind that I love to watch.
Let me tell you something, before we go on to the next match, because I just got to get it off my chest. So, like, when it comes to Orange County Championship Wrestling and how I really feel about them, I'm just kidding. There's no CM Punk pipe bomb.
Oh, yeah.
All I was gonna say is, when it comes to Orange County Championship Wrestling, when it comes to Orange County Championship Wrestling Tag Team Division, Bullyzone's first night was at End of the World, where we saw La Raza take those belts from Team OC. So we don't know much of Team OC's glory, because ever since then they've had their little falling out, which ended up in a fight in a steel cage. So we don't know what's going on with Team OC. Malice doesn't look like he's in the ring, and like you said earlier, it looks like he's trying to get into a singles competition. So
yeah,
it's wild. Everything's going on at once. So lost my train of thought as I was going into it.
We'll get you back on the train.
Any tag teams you want to see La Raza go toe to toe with?
What are the two guys? Green, Doom, Everfly, and Doom.
Oh, Doomfly.
Doomfly.
Intergender tag team match for the championships. That'd be something nice to shake
watch
it up,
that.
John.
I would watch that for days.
Yeah, Delilah Doom and Eli Everfly.
There you go. Delilah Doom. Doomfly.
Yep.
That's their tag.
Yeah.
Amalgamations of names. There you go. No, I would pay to see that. $20 at the door just for that one match. I don't care. I'd give it to you.
There you go. So I'll take the money now, and I'll call you when the show is ready.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But getting back to what I was getting to now that I remember my train of thought, first time I was at OCCW, I saw the tag team champions, Team OC, be a tag team for a whole 6 minutes until it was their time for the match. So what I'm pretty much getting at is when it comes to Orange County Championship Wrestling, and it comes to Orange County Championship Wrestling Tag Team Division, there's nobody else but La Raza.
True.
And I'm being dead honest. You can look back at all the prior competition. They've tried to reach the ladder. They've tried to, the brass ring, and they couldn't reach up to it. So that's how I feel about La Raza. I'm very strong and confident in my beliefs with them being a long reigning defending champs.
Well, if Defiant Intervention, gets their stuff together, they can team up, go after that gold. we'll talk about Azrael's match for the championship later on when we get to it. But that's probably one of his best ways to finally get some gold. Would be tagging up with Freddie Helmuth going after La Raza.
That would be like I said, like La Raza versus all the other competitors they've defended against. They're all like you said, these A tiers, B tiers, C tiers. La Raza's S tier right now because S tier, they haven't lost a match yet when it comes to exchanging titles. Right. Somebody lost the Bushido Cup. They both lost the Bushido Cup. That doesn't affect their championship. So. I think this would be the highest caliber of competition, if you were to put Divine Intervention.
I like that you pointed that out. I mean, separately, they're really solid and really amazing. Together, like unstoppable.
Literally, they're undefeated since December, and they're still rolling with it.
So that gets us into intermission.
All right, we'll be back in 5 minutes, guys.
Oh, yeah? That's what you're going to roll it with? Okay.
And then come back, and it's the second to last match on the card. Malcor versus Drew Masters. Good. It was fine. Good match.
Nothing to. All I'm gonna say is like
it was a double countout finish, which kind of
I'm getting tired
robbed
of
the
that.
crowd.
The ref that can't count to 3 really irks me.
Yeah, I just can't remember his name. It's just it eludes me. It'll come back to me. But yeah, like I had a feeling that Drew wasn't gonna pull it, because last show Malcor went against Mikey O'Shea, his master, and Mikey barely pulled out of that. So what makes you think Drew's gonna be able to pull out of that when I'm pretty sure Mikey was going half when he went against Drew in the mentor master match? You know what I'm saying? So, but Drew I was explaining this to one of my friends. It's like her second time coming to the show. I'm explaining who's who and what's the scenario, and I told her, Drew Masters is the kind of guy that will get beat up, punched in the face, and still smile and say, all right, let's try to, I'll still try to win next time, you know what I mean? He's got that optimism that really shines him out there, like he can take defeat and bring back 7-10-fold, when he gets his redemptions.
Yeah, no, the getting punched in the face kind of thing. I was going to complete that sentence with, yes, he would have a smile on his face, but not only that, he'd probably tell you how to punch him a little better.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy he is.
Honestly, he's that nice of a guy.
Anything else you guys want to say about that match?
No, I just want to have a quick shout out to everybody watching right now. We got David just jumping in. David over here he was with us last night at the show. He got to talk to us while we were going through our script a little bit. And he's a cool dude, so shout out to him. Shout out to everybody else watching. This is a great Sunday night. We have our great host, Lance Austin and the original. So we're feeling great right now. Let's jump into this last match.
Last match we had the OCCW championship on the line in a second amendment match. Now the rules of this match is the challenger, who is Azrael, is allowed to use any weapons he pleases, versus the champion Othello, who for any reason, if he decides to use a weapon, he is disqualified and loses his championship.
Yeah, very one-sided, huh?
Yeah, it started out real one-sided.
Oh, whoa, breaking news. I'm sorry. We just got a comment from Azrael himself.
All right.
What's up, Azrael?
Azrael says, Freddie Helmuth can kiss my ass. That troll can stay out of my business. May 19th, I'm ending this.
Oh, boy.
Well, you heard it here first.
As is his right as an American.
May 19th, it looks like it's going to be Azrael versus Freddie Helmuth. The final, step before the final breakup of Divine Intervention. So
it's crazy. We were just talking about it, Azrael, like not even 10 minutes ago. I was thinking, oh, maybe Azrael will play nice and maybe they'll be a tag team and take out La Raza. But no. It looks like it says, Helmuth can kiss his ass. So let's talk about that match last night when Othello walked in the ring.
Well,
I mean,
if Azrael, goes into his match against Freddie Helmuth like he did last night, then I know who's going to come out, winning that match. because last night, like I said, Azrael was able to use any weapons he pleases, and he took full advantage of that.
Oh, yes, he did.
You know, champion coming out first, which is usually a little odd.
Yeah.
But so we had LA Assassin coming out first, you know, and what happens? Azrael takes that opportunity, come in with the steel
Beats
chair,
him.
you know, beats him down.
That's what he was doing, huh?
Yeah, you know, Azrael, if you want to come on to the show before your match with Freddie Helmuth, we'd love to have you. We would like to hear from the horse's mouth what you're going to do to your former brother. But, you know, last night you killed it, but you came a little short. You know, they went around the whole
whole
you know.
venue.
Yeah.
You know,
Everything was a mess afterwards. Thank you for that.
yeah, you know, they're putting holes in the wall. The
I was
breaking
gonna say,
table.
yeah, Othello didn't use any weapons. Technically, he just used Azrael as a weapon against
Yeah.
the wall.
Yeah.
And I really do hope you're okay, brother. We don't need a concussion. But yeah. So like you guys said, they're fighting all around the ring. It was good. Bullyzone stock went up. You know, I got some of Azrael's sweat on our poster now.
We got a ton of good photos and video of that whole fiasco.
Oh yeah, and thanks to the crowd and stuff, you can check out Bullyzone Wrestle hashtags on Instagram. You guys can see more videos and pictures as we ourselves continue to process our photographs.
Yes.
For
But,
the record, Azrael is a two-time OCCW Tag Team Champion. That must have been before Bullyzone, you know, signed contracts with OCCW. But
I mean, before OCCW
Yeah,
signed
if-
contracts
Yeah,
with
what
Bullyzone.
do you
Come on now.
But like I was saying, you know, you're not the heavyweight champion, so you know, does it really mean anything?
Pack on some pounds and maybe you'll get there, Azrael. But it was fun seeing you beat a big man with a with a very, very strong stick.
Dude, it was crazy. My favorite part, well, one of my favorite parts, because there's so many favorite parts in that match, Azrael had the ladder on his head and did the classic spin-a-roon. You know, that's something I only seen in video games,
Can I mention, shout out to the fan who confused the hell out of all of us, calling for Swiss cheese
Yeah.
like half an hour.
If anybody gets that Swiss cheese reference, please comment below.
Yeah, please, somebody fill us in.
Because this is not no UEW, gross, get blood all over you kind of matches. No, this is just a good old classic hardcore match.
And Azrael, I want to ask directly: Are you part superhero? Because I'm feeling it.
Oh, yeah, I've seen you fly, buddy.
Yeah, sure too.
That choke slam and, you know, being thrown like a lawn dart into that wall.
He's all about America. He loves his Second Amendment rights, and he's a superhero. So I want to get him a cape that just has the American flag and his face on it.
And it could be upside down because he'll love it even more.
There you go.
That was a dope match. Honestly, yeah, I got some good shots of that. You know, I was chasing that action.
Fans are idiots. Fans are idiots. We'll never
Yeah.
know what Swiss cheese is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and that was, you know, Othello retained, you know, after being beaten and bruised and, you know, bloodied. He was able to retain his OCCW Heavyweight Championship. So what's next for him? I don't know. You know, maybe Tony Reyes. He was calling out. You know, he wants his title shot. You know,
Yep.
he beat Azrael before at Heartbreak City Rumble. Who would you like to see challenge Othello for the title?
Well, Voodoo's been keeping a steady track. I think he's on his way. I don't think he's ready, but he's on his way, you know, to get an opportunity, you know.
Yeah.
Who I don't want to see is, like, Rudy. That's about it. Like, yeah, we made amends and stuff, but, like, I'm not going to, like, be his best friend and call him and Snapchat him all the time. But, like, I honestly do respect the cat.
I mean, you can leave
And
all
I
the calls
just,
and Snapchats to me. I'll take care of that.
yeah, you can go handle Rudy after hours.
It was good seeing him just beat ass after that, you know,
Yeah.
that moment and coming out with his little suit jacket on, looking proper, and then
I hope he was ready for that Daniel Bryan retirement speech, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I guess not.
But Tony Reyes versus anybody, I'd love to see a title match. I would want to see like a triple threat match for contenders before anything gets like straight up booked as this is it. I
Yeah.
want to see who can throw down and really, really muscle people.
Okay, so let's play a game real quick.
You know,
It's a
playing
triple threat match.
MFT or
It's a triple threat match, right?
Okay.
This is what you're putting in my head. Triple threat match. You want to see 3 people put in the work and see who deserves to be champion.
Right.
So let's all go around the room and put in our one competitor, and we'll discuss pros and cons. You can choose a good guy. You can choose a bad guy.
I'm gonna just go out and be Tony Reyes.
Tony Reyes, okay. What do you think? Who'd you like to see possibly be the OCCW World Heavyweight Champion, Austin?
I'm trying to think of, who's really been stepping up. B.A. Marcus Frey, I can see him getting there eventually, but not quite yet. He still needs a couple more matches under his belt. Probably Max Ammo as a going away. See if he can one last hurrah. That'll be my pick right now.
I love that one. Yeah.
I'll go for Big Bad Malcor because you know why? I've seen him put in work at other promotions. I believe he's got that intensity, that audacity to really give Othello a threat, when it comes to muscle, and really push it to him. But yeah, like you said, everybody else really needs to work on it. Mikey O'Shea's kind of been on the downside since he lost last night. He lost that Bushido Cup. He's still a great cat, but like, if you want to talk stats and facts, I'm just looking at who's up and who's coming down.
A chance at the
where's Vintage Dragon at, ladies and gentlemen? I saw Vintage actually at the Impact show. Yeah.
As the winner of the Bushido Cup, if it was up to me, a trophy or a title shot, I'm gonna take both.
Yeah, John, we got 2 questions for you, John, that we'd like you to address. As soon as somebody can contact John. Question 1: where is Vintage Dragon's title shot? Where is his opportunity? And question number 2 that everybody just has to know: what are you calling the pay-per-view for May 19th? We need to start doing flyers, promo work. You guys have seen us work on Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, John, I need a fat stack
YouTube.
of flyers for my car and for everyone that I interact with. I love those.
Yeah, everybody knows we push in a lot of work. We try to get as much people in to show up. And, you kind of dropped the ball on us right there. You gave us a date, didn't give us a name. I thought I didn't hear it, but nobody heard it. So get back to us, Johnny boy. It's your favorite.
I think, triple threat, 4-way, whatever. I'd love to see Reyes, Ammo, Vintage, and take your pick of whoever else and throw them all together and mix it up for a title match. And nothing fancy, like don't do ladders or anything else. Just make it 10 count, no outside the ring, rope, and everything else just clean.
Well, triple threat's always no rules, so you just gotta abide by that.
That's a stipulation, yeah. There's no countouts, and
It's no DQ, yeah.
unless you have a 3-man battle royal, but in that case, you might as well just make it a steel cage.
I would want to set it up to where there's no reason to dispute what happened or who won.
I know the best way to do that.
What's that?
Have a guest referee.
Oh, yeah.
That always works. Yeah.
Austin,
you've seen the tapes. Guest referees always conclude things, right? Especially at WrestleManias.
We need guest referee and special enforcer, special guest commentator, the whole shebang, special ring announcer. Let's get everyone. Let's get the local newsman, local weather.
Channel
weather
7
guy.
involved.
KCAL 5 or whatever.
Your local radio DJ. They'll all be there. How much more time we got?
We're looking at about another 10 minutes. Unless you're ready to cut it short. We're having fun.
So,
what's up next?
You guys all see the Superstar shakeup this past week. What do you think was the biggest move by either Raw or SmackDown?
Honestly, seeing the switch going on with Natalya going over to Raw, right? And having Charlotte go to SmackDown.
Charlotte stayed on SmackDown, yeah.
But okay, so Natalya going to Raw, because I'm thinking of them both as the champions, so that's where it's. That's why I was like, wait, what? But Carmella actually did.
She
whoop
cashed in
Charlotte,
last week, yeah.
Because I remember, the gold was having Natalya on SmackDown representing the Hart Foundation, the Hart family. Then you had Flair's daughter over here on Raw, and that's how I remembered it. So that's how it threw me off. But no, that's probably one of the biggest shakeups I've seen so far. And Asuka coming on over.
SmackDown, yeah. Ross?
Well, if I have to be completely honest, I've been too into our indie stuff doing all of our promotions. I work like a dog, and so I don't have time for
Oh, come on, dude.
outside optics.
Oh, I have WWF
Yeah,
on my
I
pad.
do.
I
I
don't know
love it.
nothing.
You
Bully points.
Yeah,
This
bully.
is where you all take jabs at you now.
just take jabs at me. I'll take them all day.
And you know,
Uh,
Natalia, that's probably the weakest.
So the
SmackDown.
moment-
What do you mean the weakest? She's standing by her legacy. She's got to fight for her and Tyson's kid's future.
Okay, well,
Come on now.
SmackDown robbed, Raw.
Oh yeah, they did. They watered down Raw. I'll give you that completely.
They got Samoa Joe. They got the Bar.
Rollins.
They traded Jinder Mahal, who was United States champion. That night he loses Jeff Hardy, so both secondary titles are on Raw.
Yep.
Jeff Hardy goes over to SmackDown. It's just
Well, can I pose one of those greater questions that I liked that I saw was, as a brand, where should WWE take itself? And there were a few options, and it was like promote NXT as the next major brand deal, bring back the old school WCW, come up with a new branding, a new image, or remain status quo. And my thought was, push NXT, make it a major brand. Offhandedly, people know what NXT is, and I can see it taking the next step. And then bring back WCW stuff and programming, because you bring in all the really throwback fans that like me. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll come and watch their content. There was a discussion online, and some guy was like, "Oh, well, there's already too many hours in the day. Like, who has time for 7 hours of WWE content?" That guy.
by bringing back WCW. What do you mean by that? Like
But
bring
just
back the old content on the
old,
network?
The old content, the old stuff, blast it out, right? Be like, hey, remember this? Just like they did with the old WWF, WWE.
Like they
tapes.
did with ECW in 2006.
Yes, exactly.
No.
But
No. I really did not like that
But
ECW
just to
reboot.
get
No.
people familiar with the content again.
Okay, yeah, like
But
the
then I
style
wanna
of
see-
promotion.
I
So
want to
good.
see a Starcade. I want to see the Nitro. I
They
wanna
did a
see,
Starcade, it was just like a glorified house show.
Right. And I want to see, a Bash on the Beach again. Like that same familiar, because people love that stuff.
They can go
Nostalgia-
back and visit it. Something.
Nostalgia is very meaningful to people. And if you could cast a new crew and new stars, and with like one or two old school dudes who are like, I'm leading the way, and then you had a big show, like I love Bash on the Beach, and that's my next big, I want a Bash on the Beach for us.
Yeah, we're in production. with
Yeah.
that.
But that would be awesome. You could bring back, okay, La Parka's still in the business and working. I've seen Psychosis out there still on and working. I know Disco Inferno is still out there doing training. You could bring back these guys that used to work deep in the business and have them sell great stuff.
And still use them for their knowledge,
Well, that's the biggest problem. Everyone's,
dying.
everyone complains that they're relying too much on part-timers and legends and all that. And
But,
that's what
I
you
mean-
want. You want them. The problem, WWE's fine. It's just they don't know how to book for crap.
And storytelling sucks, in my opinion.
There's not a through line on their story.
Like if
That's
once
for
they
sure.
get that, then they can decide if once they know how to book a show properly.
Well, that's
then
probably
they
why
know
they're
how.
splitting it up. They're gonna let two different people
Can I
run it.
just mention- Can I just mention how much I hate Roman Reigns? Can
Yeah.
I just say it?
Yes.
The guy is a
Yes,
douchebag.
this is
Like-
the hate Roman Reigns side over here.
Like, get out.
Jeez.
Roman, retire. Leave. Get out of wrestling, please. I don't need to see your face. I don't need you to get over on anybody else. I don't need you to screw up anybody else's career. Quit.
What don't you like about him?
He's just eternally returning, and there are people who have had shots at titles and should have been booked that weren't, because Roman Reigns is Vince's golden boy, and they love to just be like, oh yeah, you're gonna.
Where's Braun's shouting? Braun didn't get to do nothing. Braun got to tag team with a 12-year-old.
No, if
I'll
they
give
just
him that. I'll
booked
give him that.
I don't
it
like-
comes back to booking, because they book him just trying to be like a superhero when they should go with Steve Austin route. Like the
They
build
did.
up for WrestleMania when he's kicking everyone, all the cops' ass and all that. People are getting behind him. And
Yeah,
then-
because now they're doing the whole what they're doing the same thing he did with Umaga. He's pushing him to the moon. He's forcing us down his throat. And back when Umaga was around, nobody really wanted him as much as they did with the same with Roman. You know what I mean? So I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just don't like.
Hair up their ass and decided Roman Reigns was the poster boy, but I don't like it.
I don't like how he thought he had a good promo at the end. You know how he's had a really bad career with promos, and then he had that really good one. I don't know how everybody expected him to win WrestleMania just because he cut one good promo. I was behind Brock the whole time, and I just want to make that publicly known in case you guys haven't caught up in the last 3 weeks. But WrestleMania just ended.
So once they get, stick with the story and book it right. Turn the right people. Turn so and so face, turn so and so heel. Once they get all that right, Roman probably should be a heel as a face. Like, hell of a worker, probably one of the best workers on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta give him that. Like, all the hate, that's just the cool thing now, to hate the top guy. If it's not...
It's not the new cool thing.
No,
people have been doing it. I was gonna say, people have been doing that since John Cena.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, because he's the top guy, people hate
Uh-huh.
him. The next top guy that comes up, they hate. Like, the one exception's been Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just like...
I think it's common.
It's cool to hate the chosen top guy.
I think he's just unfairly chosen. That's my biggest gripe.
No, he's putting in the work. He hustles. He's at every show.
But to bypass like a greater chunk of,
That's not his decision. You gotta realize that.
That's my point. Is it's not his decision. It's somebody else's.
Like,
it's Vince pushing
overseas,
him.
they had their
Thinking
shows in
Jinder got big for a minute.
South
and then-
Africa. Roman and Braun Strowman are getting huge pops. And it's just the American crowd. It's just everything's a bit now. Everyone wants to be a parody of everything.
I like that you bring that up. I hate the flanderization of characters and archetypes and gimmicks and these people's images. It's super annoying.
Yeah.
And reducing people down to that one little selling point over and over and over and over again
Just beats
Gets
as you're
old.
beating it into him. Yeah.
gets old real quick.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached our hour mark. Before we go, we just want to shout out to our fans. Thank you for everything. We love and appreciate you guys.
Shout out to our sponsor, Just Joel Inc.
Just Joel Inc. Thank you guys. You guys make it really work for us, making it easier for us bullies to get work done. Just got one last quick announcement to make for you guys, and that's next week. Amped Up Wrestling presents In the OC. And pretty much going to be a show where Los Angeles is going to come on down and have a friendly fisticuffs with yours truly.
Visit the nice
So-
SoCal.
If you guys are coming to the show next week, let us know. We'll reserve you guys some seats, inside the building. And we'll fit that other group. What was your name again? Austin, I'm sorry. Front seat. Potty. What?
Fatsos and Uglies.
Yeah, so pretty much how it's gonna go is it's gonna be a good old classic gang rivalry, ladies and gentlemen, because that's all Los Angeles brings over to OC. We have wealth; they want to take it. They're coming into Los Angeles. They're gonna be representing Front Row Mafia, and we're gonna show them how bullies
So
do.
what's up?
So come on down to the show this Saturday, guys, at the De La O Jiu-Jitsu Center, starting at 6. Tell them that you're coming representing Bullyzone. I'll make sure you guys get some nice seats. I'll put you guys actually inside the venue. We'll figure out what to do with those Front Row Mafia guys. Probably send them outside, have them sitting in the driveway. But other than that, make sure you guys check up on all our social media. We're going to have photos up this week. You can check us out on Instagram, Bullyzone Wrestle, Twitter, The Bullyzone, and most importantly, Facebook at
The
Bullyzone.
Bullyzone with a DA.
The Bullyzone on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. And oh, look at that! Last minute, look who comes to the party.
What's going on?
We're already an hour.
Oh.
We're already an hour and 2 minutes in.
Oh, wow.
John, you know what we've been doing for an hour and 2 minutes now? We've been cutting promos like a mug. John, we have a quick question for you. Whenever you're at the time, we just want to know what's the name of the next pay-per-view.
Next pay-per-view, what's its name?
We might have to wait for that. Maybe he'll post it later on today. But with that being said, I've been Lance Winters.
Oh yeah.
I'm Austin Largo.
And the original Ross Roy. Thank you guys.
All right, Naras, now you got to go over there and turn it off.
I'll go do that right now.
So while Ross is away, how do you feel? Let's really talk about how do you feel about this kid? You really think he's got what it takes to really pull the machos?
Nah, he ain't got a bully bone in him.
Not even one bully bone.
The button is over there.
But
Come on.
that's okay. He's got a lot of shaping up to do, you know. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think he's got some potential at least, you know. But he really does need to get rid of that hat. He does remind me of John.